Welcome to the Mission Control Podcast. This is your host, Apollo Des. You can follow me at Apollo Des1 on Twitter. And we are back. We are so back. Sports are kicking off again. We're in the middle of a global pandemic still, but sports in its infinite wisdom is back. And that means Houston Rockets, that means Houston Astros, the Dash, Dynamo, um, Texans around the corner, and Apollo Media is bringing it all to you. So this week was interesting. This week felt like 1 month. It was ups and downs. We were back. We were screwed, and we're back, and we're screwed again. I don't know, but it was interesting to say the least. We did what we were supposed to do against the Mariners, take 3 or 4, and then Sunday night, Chandler Rome, the Chronicle, reports Justin Verlander's out for the year. And that's when you realized at that moment, we were a little screwed. We were a little screwed there. When you go all in on two veteran horses, and one of them gets hurt, it's not great. So JV came out, refuted the report. Astros said they're going to take a few weeks off with a sore forearm. Don't want to speculate. I mean, it may be a Lance McCullers situation. I kind of said that already on social and in our Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, I'll drop the link as well. But when Lance did what he did in 18, he was also, 25, 24, 25, not 37. So, I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to think that may be the last time we've seen JV in an Astros uniform. Because it very well might be if it's Tommy. So that sucks. And then LA came into town, and obviously, um, what happened in 17. We're still champs. You know the fallout, and the Dodgers are coming in town. But along the way before that, we had some people step up, and these young arms have been quite impressive. I know we've been slightly worried. We've been slightly worried about the bullpen, and our pitching depth, and the lack of starting pitching. But these kids have stepped up, and we've seen it from Abreu. We've seen it from Rodriguez, from Scrub, from Blake Taylor. I mean, Blake Taylor, geez Louise, kid is a superstar in the making. Absolutely fleeced the Mets for that Merzing trade, getting him over. Cy Sneed up and down, out of the pen, but his peripherals look good. 2.08 ERA. Obviously, this is all in a very, very small, short-term numbers over 4 innings. 1.38 WHIP. His average is 0.188. Belak came in after the Josh James experience on Monday and stole the show. I had a blog on it, and Belak just looked like a seasoned vet. Was very, very impressive. Paredes, stud, gonna be a stud, probably be up all year. Blake Taylor probably gonna be up all year. Andre Scrub. I mean, he looked good, and he went against the Dodgers. Rodriguez against the Dodgers. Abreu against the Dodgers, and their vaunted offense. I mean, that team is full of NL All Stars. So, they look good. The new arms and the new faces. Where the question marks are right now, it's offensively, and I said that all coming out of summer camp, that hitting's in a lack behind pitching to start off, just because you have to get reps in, and you have to see live pitching, not from just your guys, but from across the league. So you saw that with the Dodgers as well. You're kind of seeing it across the board. You have some teams. The AL Central is just hitting the absolute shit out of the ball right now. So other than them, uh, across the league, it's been kind of pitching is over hitting right now. Um, but you have Brantley, who does what he does, batting a clean 435. Obviously, small sample size of 23 at bats. Carlos Correa 409. This may be his MVP season. He has the potential always to be an MVP candidate. The biggest thing was him staying healthy and to play a full season to be an MVP candidate. And so in the shortened season, it matches up well for him. Martin Maladano looked like Mickey Mantle reincarnated the first week of baseball. He cooled off against the Dodgers. But other than that, Altuve struggled, Bregman struggled, Springer struggling, Reddick struggling, Tucker struggling. It's not good. It's not good, but it's early. It's really early. I don't even see the panic button. It's nothing to be worried about. We're 3-3 right now. We could take a quick look at the standings. We're leading the West. We're tied with Oakland at 3-3. Texas at 2-3, LA and Seattle at 2-4. As we head to LA Friday night for a big game and a big series against the Angels. Obviously, every game and every series from here on out is big, uh, just due to the fact that you have a 60-game sprint. So we have Lance on the mound, who all of a sudden is now thrusted upon as being the ace of the staff, and this is his moment. Obviously, I think it's a couple of years early, but if you would ask Lance right now, he'd be like, "Yeah, damn right, I'm the ace of the staff." So that's exciting. It's his turn to carry the torch, to put the team on his back and the city on his back, and I think he's capable of doing that. But we went into the LA series, and I think it was a tale of two cities. To be honest, game one felt like a real playoff game. Even though in a non-stands, no fans in the stands, and no atmosphere for the players to feed off of, other than the game itself organically. But online on Astros Twitter, Dodgers Twitter, that game one felt like a playoff game, and we saw it rear its head a bit when with the Joe Kelly fallout. He threw at Breggs. He put his foot in front of the bag to, I guess, roll Brantley's ankle. Then Dusty Baker drops to the all-time quote and get back on the mound, little fucker. And of course, Apollo, we have our shirt. We have our shirt. You go get it. It's one of my favorite ones we've ever done. And then you have a walk to Gurriel, and Correa's up. And Correa, who has been hitting the cover off the ball, you were just, I mean, as an Astro fan, I was like, please just nuke one. Please just nuke one onto the train tracks and let this party get started. But Joe settled down, made some good pitches, threw nothing but curveballs, honestly, because he could not locate his fastball, and struck out Correa. And then they had a little dust up, little choice words, and we've all seen it. We've all seen it on social media. I don't have to run through it again. But you had just had Joe Kelly, who wasn't even part of the 2017 team. He was on the Red Sox, who were cheating during the same time period. And to be the hero for all of LA baseball and the world is the most outrageous thing. He gave up the grand slam in Game 5 last year, the NLDS, to Howie Kendrick to eliminate the Dodgers. Like he was their Will Harris, like in their biggest game, in their biggest moment. And now they're building statues of him outside of Chavez Ravine. That makes zero sense. That means I know a lot of great people on Dodgers Twitter, and they know sports. But the other 70% that are touting this guy up, that he's some national hero or some, LA hero, do you not understand baseball? You should hate this man. Yeah, put the Astros shit aside. Fine, I get that. But this dude ended your season. Like, that makes zero sense. I hate Will Harris. I absolutely hate Will Harris. And he was here for a long time. And it may be just because I'm petty and he made a great pitch and Howie Kendrick made a better swing. But Will showing up in Nationals championship gear at the press conference did it in for me. But you, as a fan, a fan is short for fanatic. You should be crazy. You should hate Joe Kelly. You should not let him off this easy. But hey, am I going to teach someone to fan? You guys love to build a statue. Dude's a douche. But so you have that fallout, and then he gets suspended 8 games. which to me I think is absolutely outrageous. Should he be suspended? Yeah, 8 games. That's a tad much, but it looks. Hey, the Astros are the mafia. We can't be touched. We are literally untouchable. This literally has to feel. We're the sixth family. You know, there's the five families in New York. You had Capone in Chicago. Well, you have the Astros down here down in the H. You know, we're our own mafia. Like we're untouchable, and it's so funny to see everyone get up in arms about it. But it's a product of their own players' union and the what Manfred wanted to do. So I don't know. What do you want us to do? We're untouchable. But game two of the LA series, it definitely felt like an exhibition game. It definitely felt like a game where it was just an extended spring training game. We saw the new rules. We saw the new rules come into play in the game, and I absolutely hated it. I've been talking about it all off season that I hate these new rules, and then I saw it play out, and not just because we lost. I mean, it was just like this is little league baseball, not even select ball, travel ball. You know, no, this is little league. Des, Little League's cool. No, it's not. It's not. Play the game. We don't need a runner on second base. Play the game. Uh, but we saw it happen, and just game two. I don't know because game one was so hyped up, and then game two, there's been warnings and no retaliations and stuff. Uh, it felt like an exhibition game. I was tired. I was like, this is ridiculous. It was like a 4.5 hour game too. Uh, but we lost. Dodgers beat us. It is what it is. We're 3-3 now. We have Lance on the mound Friday night, which is gonna be great in his moment. I just want to touch on one thing before we kind of move on, and this is gonna be a short pod. It's not gonna be that long. Just wanted to touch base and get this going now that sports are back and our podcast will be rolling. Mission Control. I'll have another pod coming out probably the same day, probably tomorrow, Friday, because today is Thursday the 30th. Uh, with Taylor Pate, one of our Rockets bloggers, to talk strictly about the Rockets with their season tipping off on Friday night against the Mavericks, and the bubble life and just the expectations and the little 8 game sprint before the playoffs and how all that's going to work. That'll be a great conversation. But the one thing that really upset me about the fallout from the Joe Kelly headhunting incident was you had Marcus Stroman, and I love Stro. Stro is I wanted him on the Astros when they were talking about trading him. That dude just brings fire and passion, but boy, does he love to talk about the Astros. And it's funny if you call him out on his bluff essentially, and you bring up Marisnik and JD Davis, who are on the 17 Astros, who use the system quite frequently, he'll just block you. Like, come on, Chief. Like, hey, if you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. But you also got to talk about it on your end. You got two teammates over there that were part of it and used it at a frequency um, more than Altuve, more than these other guys that are still on the Astros now. You got to carry that same energy. So that's what really upsets me. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think our offense will pick back up. Not too worried about that. The young arms, the confidence, keep throwing them out there. That's pretty much all we have since all of our bullpen has elbow discomfort. I guess spinning up pitchers in a 3-week notice wasn't a good idea. Shocker. 3-3 is not great. It's not great, but it's not bad. And then AL West around the horn. Yeah, the Oakland A's are going to be a problem. The Oakland A's are going to be a huge problem. They can hit. The pitching's all right. They just hit. They're just scrappy. They're always a thorn in our side. They're just scrappy, and they never go away. Angels can hit. Their lineup's pretty filthy. But once you get into the bullpen, it's worse than an hour. Like with all your money's tied into 3-4 players in your lineup, you can't spend money anywhere else, and they have no one. Andrew Heaney is their ace. I think Dylan Bundy's their number 2. Like, okay. But their bullpen is full of Jags. The Mariners are gonna be good. They played us hard. Kyle Lewis is gonna be a stud. That kid can flat out rake. Evan White can rake. The Mariners are in a good spot. They're 4 or 5 years off, but they're building a good young core. They've done well building around those two. And then the Rangers. They're 2-3. They're gonna hit. We know what they bring. Kluber shut down as well for it looks like a month, with I believe a shoulder, elbow, something with his arm. So that sucks. I mean, you're seeing it across the board around the league that you're having these veteran guys get shut down early on, and it sucks. It sucks seeing that. I'll just go around. I'll go around the horn for the entire Major League Baseball real quick. AL Central, you got Minnesota, who's 4-1. They're a wagon. Cleveland's 4-2. They're looking like they're in form pretty early on. Lindor is playing on a contract year. J Rams smacking the ball around. Detroit is 4-2. Very surprising. Obviously, it's very early. White Sox 2-4. You thought, obviously they'll be in contention in the Central. Kansas. Oh, on the White Sox, Lewis Roberts. Buy all the Lewis Roberts stock. That guy is a freak. I know some people were calling him Baby Trout. I don't want to get in that conversation yet, but the kid is a freak. Kansas City 2-4. They're probably playing for 5-6 years down the road. Then you got the East. Yankees 3-1. Tampa Bay 4-2. I think Tampa's still going to win the East. Garrett Cole's 2-0. He got some runs scored against them against Baltimore, which was surprising. Toronto's 3-3. I think they're young, but they're years away. Baltimore 2-2. It's Baltimore. Red Sox 2-4. I mean, the Red Sox are looking forward to next year already. Like, geez, I feel sorry for some of my Sox friends. It's just wow. So that's the AL. NL wise, you have the NL East, which just is a dumpster fire because there's a Corona outbreak. Miami's completely shut down. The half the team, I believe, has COVID, which is terrible. And this, you knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen, and it still is going to happen to other teams. But how do you plan? It's a 60-game sprint, and they're shut down for over a week and a half. They're not playing. They're not practicing. Like, what happens if that happens to a contender? And I say that Miami's 2-1. They're leading the East. I understand that, but like, if that happens to a Yankees or an LA or the Indians or the Astros, like, the league's gonna have to make some very, very tough decisions. Atlanta's 3-3. Mets are 3-3. I mean, there is a stat. Jeez Louise. Jake DeGrom. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Jacob DeGrom has a 2.04 ERA. Yes, ERA is a dinosaur stat. ERA, I completely agree, is a dinosaur stat. But for this context of this tweet, Jacob DeGrom has a 2.04 ERA in 66 starts since the beginning of the 18 season. The Mets are 29-37 in those games. DeGrom only has 21 wins in that span. 21 wins. Jacob DeGrom, come to Houston, buddy. We'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. The city will love you and embrace you. It's fine. And we kind of have breaking news right now. No Philly players have tested positive for Corona, but we have a coach and a clubhouse staffer tested positive, so they're shut down. AL East, man. Jeez Louise. Nats 2-4. You'll always have that 2019 title, Washington. They're just, without Rendon and Soto, they're just not very good offensively. NL Central, you have the Cubs 4-2. They look like they're in pretty good form right now. Milwaukee's 3-3. Yikes. He's a rough start on kind of like Springer. He'll come into form. Devil Magic Cardinals are 2-3. Cincinnati, who everyone touted up, 2-4. Not a great start. Cincinnati's going to Cincinnati, I guess. Pittsburgh 2-4, and then out west you got Colorado at 4-1, Dodgers 4-2, San Diego. I would buy some stock. Hey, everyone listening, all five of you, go find a bookie. Go put a future bet on San Diego and let Uncle Dez make sure you tip them come October, because I think San Diego could be a team that could win the World Series at a very, 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 very hefty payout. Let's look at it real quick. World Series odds, and I think they could be. I think they could be someone that could, I don't know, pay for a little vacation for you. Padres are 45-1. 45-1 odds. Go put a little hundo spot on that. And then tip Uncle Dez when they hit. But that's pretty much rounding out Major League Baseball. It's week 1. There's overreactions, there's underreactions. I am not worried about Springer. I also say Christian Javier is going to be the first name of my unborn child, because he looked like a superstar pitching in Justin Verlander's spot last night. 5 2/3, I think 8 or 9 strikeouts, and he just looked good. And what a steal! What a steal to have him in. I mean, he's everything you thought Whitley was going to be. And right now, I just don't understand why Whitley's not on the Major League roster, because your arms are so battered and beaten, and yet he's still in Corpus. That's really concerning. And it's one thing, and we'll go into our last segment here. And I asked Twitter to reach out for some questions last night, and we'll answer them. But it was just, why was he so untouchable? Why was he so untouchable with the previous regime? And it's frustrating to see that this is his opportunity. You would think in a short season, this would be the time that he thrived and he turned the corner. But here we are. Maybe he'll show out. I don't know. Hopefully him and Tucker come around, because we definitely need them to. So we'll go into the Ask Apollo section, the last segment of our podcast, and we'll wrap it up. I went on Twitter last night and said, hey, if you guys have any questions on Twitter, doesn't have to be about sports, anything, we'll answer them on the pod. The first one is from Utah Drone Guy. He asks, hashtag Ask Apollo, should we have traded Tucker for Yelich? 1,000% yes, we should have. I still don't. I want to talk to Jeff about a lot of things, but one of the things is the complete infatuation of the assets of Kyle Tucker and Forrest Whitley. And honestly, guys, we got to stop. I mean, I don't do it. I think both are extremely overvalued. We got to stop calling him Ted. I mean, that is such a disgrace to Ted Williams, one of the greatest pure hitters of all. And I don't even stand up for all old baseball. I don't think that's a different conversation we'll have. But Ted Williams is one of the best pure hitters of all time. And we got to stop calling Kyle Tucker that. I mean, that kid's got the biggest hole in his swing. He casts his hands. He can't get into anything up and in. It's just a disgrace. I think if you look at Ted Williams, his hitting chart, like his blue, like if you look at a hitting chart, it's red or blue, right? You have your hot zones and your cold zones. Ted Williams' cold zones were over 300. Like right around 300, 301, 302. Those were considered as cold zones. Yeah, that's not Kyle Tucker. Next question from Alex Delgado. He goes, if you could fill a swimming pool with any kind of food, what is it? And why is it pudding? Follow up, would you jump in bare ass or are you wearing a swimsuit? Pretty unique question, Alex. If I could fill up a swimming pool with any kind of food, what is it? I don't think I'm going pudding. It's just, that doesn't sound pleasant. I would probably go Probably go like M&M, something sustainable. No, it'd probably melt. Then it'd just be chocolate. I don't know what I would. I don't know what I would do with the swimming pool. I guess we'll just go pudding for the question's sake. And am I jumping bare ass or a swimsuit? I mean, if it's just my swimming pool and no one else is jumping in it, I would definitely go bare ass. Cy Young 2021 at McCullers season asks, with Jordan and Urquidy a week or two out, who loses their spots to make room? And does Javier keep his spot in the rotation when Urquidy comes back? Yeah, I think that's a really unique question. I think they'll obviously not to overreact about Javier's first start as a rookie. You would want to see more starts to see if he's going to be in, but I don't think Jose is going to be ready to jump into the rotation. I think they're going to spin him up, and I think they'll put him in the bullpen and just let him slowly start growing because we need. I say we need bullpen help, but as the young kids have proved me wrong. But I think putting Jose in the bullpen until he's ready to be a starter come mid-August, September, I think that's fine, and you just have Christian going. But I don't think if Javier keeps doing what he's doing, I don't think he's the odd man out. I think Josh James could be the odd man out, and Jose would jump in that spot. So we'll see there. And then Jordan, yeah, we definitely need him back in the lineup. It would be a shot in the arm for sure. I would think Kyle Tucker is the odd man out. See ya, like produce or not. I mean, unless they Reddick's struggling and they just like, hey, let's play Tucker there instead. This is from HTX Keaton 06 hashtag Ask Apollo. YTF did no one bunt? Yeah, you. I said it on Twitter. I think I've said it, screamed it across every mountaintop. Why did we not bunt extra innings? And then we saw Dusty with some ridiculous comment of saying, well, we saw if they were going to bunt and they didn't bunt, so we didn't bunt. I mean, okay, this is a gentleman's game all of a sudden. They just threw at Alex Bregman's head the day before. Why is this a gentleman's game now? That makes zero sense to me. You play to win the game. And Dusty, who's an old school manager who loves the bunt, I get it if it was AJ Hinch. AJ Hinch didn't believe in bunting. He believed in the analytics. Dusty doesn't. Dusty should have bunted. And us to not bunt in the extra inning, it was the most ludicrous thing. Just pissed away a game. At Dina H Texans, explain the second base out when it was dropped in a fake throw. My son played second base and we were wild. It was reviewed. What the hell did we miss? Yeah, it's a good question, Dina. What did the league miss? It's not us, the fans. That was clearly an atrocious call. Kike did not have control. He received, if you haven't seen it in extra innings, it was a double play ball that was reviewed, and the call on the field stood, but Kike Hernandez, not even a double play. It was just the force out at second base. So Turner fields it, throws it to Kike. Kike is going to turn it and just misses the ball. Like it hits his glove, but as he's transferring it out with quick hands, it falls out, and he never had possession. It just center of his glove to the ground, and he did a little fake throw to try to sell it like it was the transfer, and it clearly wasn't. And the Major League Baseball, the umpires totally got it wrong. And Sutton came back to hurt us. Obviously, not bunting and getting a big hit, but I guess it is what it is. And then the last question, this is from at Andrew Miller 755 with the Yankees Avi. He goes, who's your favorite player from the Yankees or Dodgers if you had to choose? Yeah, Jack, I'll answer the question. Obviously, I wouldn't say I don't have favorite players on the team, but as a baseball fan, who do I like watching play? I like watching Garrett Cole pitch in a Houston uniform. I guess I have to like him. I don't have to like him in a Yankees uniform, but the guy's a stud. Stanton looks really good this year. Obviously, he's kind of like Correa. The durability issues, but could be an MVP candidate, and he looks shredded up in a lean machine and just hits a ball of like 500 feet when he breathes on it. So that's pretty cool. And then on the Dodgers side, Yeah, I love watching Joe Kelly pitch. I just think he's a superstar, and we should build statues of Joe Kelly. Just kidding. Yeah, I don't really have any. They're good. I like watching. They're the NL All Stars, so I like watching them play, I guess. But we'll probably do that recurring segment, hashtag Ask Apollo, on all these pods from here on out, just to interact with you guys. That's it for this solo pod. I know it was kind of quick and we just ran through a lot of things, but I just wanted to touch on week one of Major League Baseball being back. Rockets and Astros back on the TV on Friday night. That's going to be really cool. If you haven't been to our store yet, apollohu.com, we have some great merch. We partnered with Lance. We have we have his tattoo that we put on a shirt that he gave his blessing on. We had that badass Dusty Baker quote. He completely won me over on that, and then kind of lost me a little the next night. But that and all the other ones are Carlos Guerrero facts or shut the fuck up shirt. He stood out this week. He came to play, but we have a lot of bunch of stuff, a lot of streetwear. We have some new designs coming out as well, our summer line. But yeah, go check it out. I'll probably put a promo code down in the comment section, a little hidden Easter egg. So if you're here listening, you'll get that and use it at the store. But thank you guys. Look for episode 6 of the Mission Control podcast with Taylor Pate, our Rockets blogger. Probably dropping the same day this drops. So thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, drop a 5-star review. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Thank you so much for believing in Apollo Media, and we'll check you guys later. Bye.